Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the News Desk here on VGLosers.com, part of the Pop Culture Network. Sorry, I'll never do that again, I promise. But welcome back to the show, everybody. As always, I'm your host, Dirt, and today we're going to take a look at some of the top video game news that's been going on the last few days. First up, Dragon's Dogma is coming out in May. Now, you may not have heard of Dragon's Dogma, and you may wonder why you should care. Well, quite frankly, it will include access early to the Resident Evil 6 demo. They're calling this the new Zone of Enders. For those of you who remember, Zone of Enders originally came out with the first demo for Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. And that caused Zone of Enders to just sell through the roof, higher than anyone really had anticipated for that game. Now, Zone of Enders was not a bad game in its own right, and Dragon's Dogma may turn out to be a great game as well. But how many of you have heard about Dragon's Dogma before today? Exactly. NASA now is making games for the iOS and Facebook. NASA has entered a new development territory, designing games to educate about math and flight and the history of space exploration. So those of you super uber space nerds, you can now get your game on with the boys at NASA. Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection is now available for PC on Steam, even though Ed Boon went online and said, no, it's not out. Well, no, it is out. The game was previously released on PlayStation Network and Xbox Live, and it collects the first 3 Mortal Kombat arcade games, but now you can play it on your PC, where you've probably been pirating it anyway. Asteroids is a new arcade cabinet that has come out that allows you to play the game Asteroids using just your eyes. Basically, an infrared beam bounces out of the game and into your eye and bounces back and tracks your movement. And as you look at targets in which you want to shoot, the game shoots them. No word yet on how fat guys like me are going to react to a game that requires even less motion, while people who play Kinect are getting into shape. Sony has reported a massive loss for Q3. They're saying that the fiscal quarter from October to December last year had a net loss of $2.03 billion. That's a lot more than the losses that Nintendo was looking at, that people were saying was not a good sign. Although this should not be taken into some sort of conspiracy theory on how bad the Vita is, or problems with the overall PlayStation brand. Most analysts are pointing to less than flattering sales of Sony televisions. They put a lot of money into the 3D television market, and 3D televisions have not quite taken a hold like most people expected, and that's left Sony eating, $2.03 billion in losses. THQ, the video game developer, mostly known for their WWE games. I hear they make some other stuff too. Whatever. But they have announced that they have fired 240 employees, and their CEO is taking a 50% pay cut due to a weaker market and flagging revenue. So, for those of you who say that everybody on Wall Street, everybody who's a CEO is just a greedy guy trying to take as much money as they can, well, he cut his pay by 50%. Of course, who knows how big his pay actually was in the first place, but, you know, it's at least a good sign. And finally, the Simpsons arcade game, fondly remembered by fans all over the world, is now been rated for release on PlayStation Network and the 360, gearing up for a release sometime in the next few months. So fans looking forward to that, or fans who remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game and want to play the same game just with a Simpsons skin on it, well, there you go. The game should be coming out soon. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget, you can come to VGLosers.com for more video game news and reviews. Don't forget to check out VideoGameLosers.com to see the Video Game Losers Show. It's a show where Killen and I talk about all the great stuff having to do with video games. Don't forget, if you want to leave us a voicemail, you can do so by calling area code 217-953-4025. And also, you can send me an email, dirt@popculturenetwork.com. Thanks for watching, everybody. And, oh, one last thing. I almost forgot. How could I forget? How could I forget? It's time for your public service announcement, ladies and gentlemen, because remember, this is February. February has started. At the end of February, there's an extra day. This is a leap year. So we get February 29th this year. This year, February 29th, 2012, is in fact going to be Tron Day! That's right, Tron Day. That's your day to go online and talk about how Tron saved your life, how Tron shacked up with your mama, how Tron defiled your sister, how Tron saved a baby from a burning building. Just talk about Tron. And I know some of you guys are like, well, what about Cybertron and Voltron and Megatron? And yeah, go ahead, talk about all those things. Genghis Tron, if you like his music, knock yourself out. It's Tron Day. Anything has to do with Tron or anything related to the word Tron, because let's face it, everything like, Megatron is just stolen from the idea of Tron. I mean, come on, it's like electric and computer machine stuff. That's just totally ripped off from Tron. You know how it works. So, anyway, don't forget, February 29th, the end of this month, the leap year, the special day, is in fact reserved for Tron Day! Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.